People, Deluded, I'm back again. We've got Egal in the building. Big up yourself, big up the chat. You saying, my guy, you're right?
I'm chilling, man. Been a minute. I've been busy, but yeah, man, it's nice to be back. How you been, man?
I've been good, man. You know, Berta's doing what he needs to do. I'm enjoying I wouldn't say I've enjoyed preseason, but I'm enjoying the extremities and the aftermath. And actually, you know what? We can kick off there. Yeah, I actually want to ask you, what do you make of like the agendas? Because obviously, Gyokeres only played 15 minutes. We know rival fans are going to do the most. We did lose to Spurs and all of that kind of stuff. But I do feel you can be vexed about the game in isolation and all of that. But in terms of the other stuff, I think it went mad. And you're on social media. You would have seen it yourself, man. Like, what's your thoughts?
Are we talking about from an Arsenal fan perspective? Or
Everybody. I'm also want your opinions from Arsenal fans. You can include rivals, but I always say to you, I don't really give a fuck what the rivals think. But you can touch on rivals if you want. I was more thinking about Arsenal fans, man.
Can you see me or is it you?
Yeah, can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you now.
Don't tell me there's technical issue.
It's all good. It's all good now. It's all good now. I was just gonna say, what do you call it? From my perspective, the whole Gyokeres, making fun of Gyokeres is given. It's just people doing stupidness. As for, I actually pissed off the Liverpool fans by pointing out a stat, because I don't know if you've seen this, but a certain side of Twitter made fun of Arsenal by only beating AC Milan by 1-0. Oh, you only beat AC Milan by 1 goal. And then the next day, the conversation was, well, Liverpool's going to show Arsenal how to do it. What happened? They get panned by AC Milan. What ends up happening? I go on Twitter and say, isn't it interesting? The team that only conceded 3 shots to AC Milan, and these guys concede 3 goals by like 60 minutes, end up conceding a 4th one and scored 2 goals. And they've been looking very suspect defensively throughout the whole preseason, where people are pointing out how we've been looking suspect offensively in our attack. Now, go into the next game versus Newcastle, Zubimendi's playing. Big difference. You can see big difference in the build-up play, big difference in the whole way that we attack. Now that Norgard is not the main man in the midfield, you see a big difference in the overall play from the whole team. And we have a decent performance versus Newcastle. Yes, we conceded some silly goals versus Newcastle, but we ended up scoring enough to get the win, plus seeing a better offensive performance than we did in the previous game. So I'm overall happy, right? Once again, the agenda comes into play because you got Liverpool fans watching our games with hawk eyes, Manchester United fans watching.
Everyone's watching everyone to hate, man. The game is the game. It's nasty.
Hate watching in preseason to me is crazy.
It's crazy.
You can point out things that you see that you think are concerns, things that you see that you think are positive, but at the end of the day, it's not an official match. You're not going to see the best of 11s out there. Although Tottenham and Liverpool have done something I think Arsenal should adopt, which is play 2 games visible for the fans to see, one with the B team, one with the A team. I kind of like that. We should maybe adopt that, because it gives an opportunity for Arteta to go and play a whole second 11 of guys that he might not trust, to see who can shine and cream can rise to the top, where you need a game with your best 11 out there, and you don't necessarily want to have your best 11 rotated with a bunch of squad players every single preseason game. You do want at least one preseason game where you have some of your best players out there. So I think it is very beneficial to do what Spurs and Liverpool have done this season, which is have the same day back-to-back fixtures that can really prepare you and understand what your team is ready and made of. And yeah, as for the Gyokeres making fun of his weight, making fun of him in a picture, stupid.
Crazy.
We could do the same thing about Brian Mbeumo and anybody else for any other team. Making fun of preseason stats and somebody giving away goals is just stupid. And then overall, I think we're just so hated, man. Like I could point out a statistical fact about another team, they will get extremely mad. And then Arsenal, what's being spread is just lies. You'll find somebody go and spread a lie about Gyokeres, and now you have Gary Lineker quoting it on his podcast on the BBC. It's like,
you'd think they do fact checking, to be fair, if that did happen.
It did. He did not do no fact checking. He went on the BBC and said, "Yeah, Gyokeres only scored 3 goals against the top 8 teams last year in Portugal." I'm like, that's not true. But hey, Gary Neville's getting his facts from some fake account on Twitter. Unfortunately, that's how far some people's reaches. I remember one time I said Rashford's what do you call it? Uh, Rashford's what do you call it? Still I said Rashford's 27 and he's acting like he's 23 as a joke, right? And people got mad because he's actually like 25 at the time. And I'm like, I'm making a joke. He's not actually
Yeah, but
26.
you know, humor on social media just become a toxic place, man. If I'm honest,
Yeah.
Twitter,
The
especially
worst thing
X.
is I just I put anything I do about Liverpool now is like they have a defense league on social media where Arsenal fans, we're our own worst enemy. We cause ourselves problems. Did you see the combined 11 with Invincibles in our team last year? I'm like, what are you guys
No,
doing? Somebody made a combined 11 and put 6 Arsenal players from combined 11 with the Invincibles. I'm like,
what
bro,
these 6 Arsenal players?
yeah.
Yeah, that's madness.
I'm
Sorry.
like, they're putting Raya, both the center backs, Declan Rice and Saka. I'm like, I get it. You love our players, but let us at least
I
win
don't know
before
about
you
that.
start. I know, man, it's crazy. Anyways, I could talk all day, but the main thing is what's pissed me off the most out of this whole preseason is nobody is level-headed. Everyone is losing their heads over stupidness. I've seen people in the Tottenham fan base saying, "Oh, now they're going to get top 4 guaranteed because they beat us in a preseason game." I'm seeing Arsenal fans saying they're losing their heads, saying the season's already ended before it started. We lost to Tottenham. Our attack is still the same old, same old. I see people who I genuinely rate and I think are very level headed and balanced, like James from AFTV, coming out there and saying, "Yo, it doesn't matter what we do in the transfer window. Arteta's got to fix up." And I'm
I
like,
don't think that's wrong. I second that. I
and I'm
agree with
like,
that.
and
I've
I'm
been
like, you
saying that
know
for
what?
time.
There is some positive. There is some criticism and fair analysis happening, but at the same time, there is people going way overboard.
And that's Egal, like if you remember, me and you have done a lot of streams, so I wouldn't know the stream to say like which one we were speaking about it as. But I remember me and you were talking about something similar, just based on how Arsenal fans are, right? And we sat there and I said that like Arsenal fans, when we win one week, everything's gonna be happy. I mean, you can say this on the best of days, but when we win, happy as Larry. When we lose, it's bare negative. I do think everybody's allowed an opinion. I don't have to, you could be the most positive man in this world or the most negative fan in this world. That's your business because I stand for nuances and talking about stuff. So when I look at this game, I get it. Like I would think you could. I think you're allowed to be upset in it. And what I mean by that is kind of not what you're saying. Everyone doing the most on social media. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying if you're looking at that game and you can comprehend that, yeah, you know what, cool, we'll give you a blight. It is preseason. It is if you're gonna make mistakes or things are gonna happen, do that now. All of that kind of stuff, right? But I don't feel there's anything at this moment in time evident that's been different. And I kind of can forgive Arsenal fans for kind of being annoyed about the same old things. We all know preseason, you're not going to rock up there for 2 weeks and all of the problems are not there, but we're still frustrated about the slow build-up play and all of all of those kind of things. So that's where I kind of get. Have you seen anything evident different in our Arsenal kind of play since preseason's kicked off? Because I'm struggling. I've seen different presses. I know that, you're not going to have your strongest 11, but I haven't seen anything significant like this. For example, the stuff on the left-hand side still there. The chance creation isn't really there. There's been some games or certain moments where we've done better. Like you said earlier, AC Milan, I think we actually did quite well in the final third. I was impressed with our pressing initially against Spurs, but then everything went down the toilet. Newcastle, I think we was a bit too open on the transition. So there's it's a mixed bag for me. But for you, have you seen anything clearly different or anything that you're like, yeah, Arteta's trying something new there that's evident on the eye for someone that, that ain't training with Arsenal and all that?
I don't think you can really expect much from your first preseason game versus a Champions League side. Then you play Newcastle and Tottenham. You're not really going to see too much experimenting, especially when your best players that you just signed in the upcoming window. I mean, this window has not played too much minutes. Gyokeres only played 15 minutes. Zubimendi only really played a lot during the Newcastle game. And
Madueke is obviously not over there at the time.
Madueke hasn't featured. Norgard, mixed feelings from the fan base, but personally, I thought he's been okay. I don't
No, I
expect
agree.
him. I don't expect him to
No one
come.
expected fireworks from him, to be fair. He was
Yeah.
doing your
So
thing.
we're getting what we expect, a steady Eddie. I don't know
Exactly.
why people think every player has to be a game changer. Our game changers haven't played together. We haven't really seen too much besides the frustrating similar issues that we've had previously. And you know something? The negatives outweigh the positives because I think most people only started paying attention to the Tottenham game, like seriously paying attention and looking at every single minute detail after we conceded. Because before we conceded, we
Yeah,
were a
because
lot
that's we've
better.
lost in it.
Because before we conceded, we were a lot better. We were much better at holding on to possession, much better at building up. I know we didn't generate many shots in the final third. That's our execution is still poor, but I'm not gonna go crazy about it. I do think Arteta is kind of holding back, hasn't shown all his cards. He's probably gonna show his cards versus the teams that are not the Premier League teams in the upcoming games. In the Emirates Cup, that's where we're going to see majority of the goals. That's where we're going to see majority of the of the surprises and changes and the experiments. The only real experiment I noticed was versus Tottenham. He went long a lot, and he
Yeah,
had
but we've
Declan
been doing
Rice.
that though, man.
No, but he had Declan Rice overlapping the
We've been doing that.
winger, and he had him overlapping Martinelli on numerous occasions, and Martinelli was getting bringing it down for Declan Rice rather than Moreno or Havertz doing the job of bringing it down and giving it to one of the wingers. You had Martinelli doing it, and maybe Martinelli is going to be more of an outlet going forward. I don't know, but Saka,
I don't
people
know.
are people are people are getting at Saka saying he's off pace. What do you expect? It's preseason. Guys are coming. Guys are trying to get full fitness. The guys had a month off for the first time in over 2 years. So give the guy a break off the back of coming for back from an injury. Also, I'm not necessarily too concerned, but yeah, you know how it is.
How, how you felt? Because there's a couple things I want to ask you about. Yeah, the first one I ask you about is the left hand side. Now, obviously, Martinelli, we're at where we're at. Again, we can give him a blight pre-season. We hope that you change. Obviously, the last few years hasn't been that, right? I think personally, Trossard's been a bit better, but it's still the same old. I don't want to do the pre-season thing because I think we all know someone like Reece Nelson probably needs to depart, yeah. But I do think in elements that I saw of Reece Nelson, if I just isolate this pre-season, I can forgive fans for thinking, oh, you know what, maybe give him one last chance. Where are you at with Reece Nelson and that left hand side, like left wing specifically, I should say?
We messed up giving him 100K. That's the real thing. We messed up giving these guys too much high wages, and it's impossible to shift them off. And unless you're winning things and they're contributing, like if we would have won the league the year that he scored that goal versus Bournemouth, we probably would have been able to sell him for like 20 mil. But the fact that the team is not accumulating any major silverware, these lesser fringe players seem less worth going for. And I don't think anyone you can't fault fans for by saying, oh, give him another chance because they see one little glimpse of magic, but those same fans will tell you sell Martinelli for 2 pennies. Like,
Hmm.
so I can't take the emotional take serious. What I'll say is he needs to go. We need to get something for him, or at least minimum get him off the books and get him on a loan deal with an option or obligation to buy.
Not
Because
obligation or permanent now, girl, man.
yeah,
Like
because
enough's enough. Burt's got us.
you know something though, we don't sell well because of our wage structure. Our wage structure has been
True.
giving people who are nowhere near the value too much money. And I think it's because we were in a situation similar to Manchester United are in right now, where we were rebuilding and we were rebuilding with young players. And when you're rebuilding with young players and you give them too much too soon, you can find yourself in a situation where you're quickly realizing that your squad players are getting starter money at other clubs. And that's what happened to us.
Well, we
But yeah.
just assume that someone like Reece Nelson is either going to improve, nail down a shirt, or be a decent rotation option. In that you've got him on 100K for 5 years, probably didn't happen. And I think
He's
the
not going
bottom
to be
line is
a rotation option here.
exactly that's the bottom line. You're just not good. You're just not good enough. And I think respectfully to Reece, for you and Arsenal fans, it's best you just go elsewhere in it. Like it's best that you go somewhere. You're going to play for a couple of years. You're going to settle down roots rather than 1 minute at Arsenal, then you're going on loan. They don't really know where you stand, type of thing. I think we will change how people view us in terms of the market. I think that might be happening with how Bert has conducted himself against Gyokeres. But that being said, positively, that's been a few months, right? We've been known for a number of years of not being quote unquote good in the market. So that's gonna take time.
You know what Reese needs?
Go on.
Reese is Jamaican, right?
I'm not gonna lie. 1 minute I see Jamaica, then I see Zimbabwe. I don't know for Reese Nelson. I honestly don't know. If he's Jamaican, he needs to stay, and we need to bring back Raheem Sterling.
Jamaica's in the World Cup, right?
No, we ain't qualified for that, brother.
Oh, seriously?
Nah, but we ain't got that. We need to do what Nigeria do and get the British youths, man. Like we ain't got.
I
a
would have
chance.
said get him to the national team, start scooping up some of these guys.
Does he want to play for us, man?
Get these guys to put the
You know
pride
how these
aside.
guys are, Egal, man. They're not gonna take Jamaica seriously and a bit like other countries until it's made clear that you're not playing for England type of thing.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. They need to do what friggin' some of these Arab countries do. They get these guys young, develop
Even
them.
Nigeria does it the best. If I'm honest.
They invest in them young, and they also get the families on side because the families are invested into also. I know it's dodgy. Some people say it's dodgy, but bro, if you have a Hakimi playing for Morocco, who's one of the best right backs playing for Morocco, and all these top players playing for Morocco, what's stopping Jamaica from keeping some of their top
Everyone
players?
really. You think about France. You think about the French national team. If they played for their heritage, boy, like the last two times France won the World Cup, it's because of a mix of cultures, man, which was great, really and truly. I want to ask you something, yeah, because me and you kind of went at it last time, in jest. Do you still think we don't need another left back?
If one leaves, maybe then we can bring it in. But right now, the
Down,
situation
man.
is very simple. We have one Calafiori, two Mazuskali, three Kiwior, four Zinchenko. We have technically four players who can play in that left back position. Is it necessary for us to now, if we lost two Kiwior and Zinchenko, then maybe go and get another left back? But if one out of the two stay, there's no real necessary need to go in for another left back. Let's be honest. We played our fifth choice left back more at left wing than we did at left back last year in Kieran Tierney. So
fair play. But then what?
It's not a necessary need. But
when did he start playing? Like December, right? Obviously, there's 38 Premier League games, full stop. If we hope to do what everyone wants to do, you've got 50, 60 potential games in all comps. As you're right in that Calafiori.
Don't forget, we also have Timber too.
Yeah, you have that. That's another one. That's exactly why. Just bear with me, right? You got 50, 60 games if push comes to shove, right? Bearing in mind, Miles Lewis-Skelly, great. First choice, love the guy. But loss of form, injuries, suspensions, rotation, all of that jazz is needed. I think Zinchenko actually stays owing to the fact that I actually think Arteta would want a left back. Like if we could have got Hato, maybe we're putting funds elsewhere in it. So I think Zinchenko stays for that. But no one else trusts Zinchenko there. Obviously, Kiwior, if worse comes to worse and that's an option, then you're going to have to do it. But we're going to have to play that by ear. No one don't really want to do that. If Calafiori was fit and could stay fit and we could rely on that, I don't think we need a left back. I think we're very close to getting ourselves drawn out. Timber at this moment in time is nursing an injury. Now, if we go back to last season, we can't just assume it's just going to be one injury in a certain sort of place. We had Ben White struggling, Timber struggling, Saliba's had to carry a knot, Gabriel's carried a knot. I'm just simply asking you, I'm not saying it's a priority. We still genuinely don't feel there's scope there. I hope you're right, and it doesn't come to it. But I honestly think if I looked Mikel Arteta in the eye, he obviously we'll get on to Eze. But you want in an ideal world, he probably want another left winger and an Eze kind of versatile kind of guy. Probably even want another centre mid long term. I still reckon he would say I want a left back. I know fans don't want to hear it. I'm not even saying that's my priority, and that's why I think Zinni's staying. But I think not having one. I'm not saying you have to spend bare money. Could you get a little Monreal type of guy that? I think that's the area that's keeping me up.
Hato was there for 35, but Chelsea got him. Hato.
See, and that's we missed a trick with that, man. I guess you know
what,
we'll buy him in a couple of years from Chelsea, innit? Really?
Yeah, we could if he goes wrong. I don't think we're gonna get another left back. I think you got to realize Mascara can also play right back. Also,
I think he can go left back as well. To be fair,
so a lot of these guys can fill in multiple positions. We don't necessarily have to worry defensively. I'm more or less saying, get me Eze and get me a left winger if we can. Those are if you can get me even Eze alone, I'm happy for the rest of the window. But if you can get me Eze plus another one, boy, that is the best window of all time.
Do you think we'll get? Look, that's a good point, yeah. And I've got bare tabs that I want to show you. But before we get into specifics about Eze, can you see Eze and the left wing, or can you see just Eze? Like, where are you at with that? Do you think it's one and done?
There could be a loan. if we get Eze and we could potentially loan Rodrygo at the end of the window if he's fed up at Real
Come
Madrid.
on,
I know you're
loaning.
laughing. I know there's some you could say it's delusion, you could say it's whatever,
I
but
hope you're right. I
but
want to
Real
bring you back on my
Madrid,
stream, and I look
the
like an
Real
idiot for
Madrid
laughing.
Rodrygo situation is interesting. He dumps his girlfriend. He changes his shoe deal from Nike to Adidas.
Oh my god.
I got my boy Kiko Suarez telling me every single day, calm down, it's okay. This is part of the process. Real Madrid don't want to sell for cheap, but also it might get to a point where the player has to go because he's not going to have any game time in the first 11 as much as he thinks he's worth. And this is a guy who's worth starting. Liverpool could be after him, but now that they're getting Isak, I don't know if they're going to be after him either. So Rodrygo to Arsenal is still a big possibility. Don't forget, he is been wanted by Arsenal all window. They haven't really Lookman stuff, in my opinion, don't really think is moving the board to go heaven and earth to try to get
I
Lookman or
agree.
Rafael Leao or even Anthony Gordon. I think the only person they would do whatever they can to get is probably Rodrygo. And they have said they want difference makers. So don't take it out of the realm of possibility that if we get Eze, we could still somehow move for a Rodrygo. And the only way that happens, outgoings. You know which outgoings need to happen. We're talking about Trossard. We're talking about Nelson. We're talking about Jesus. We're talking about. I'm surprised Jesus even being spoken about now because he seems like he's fit enough to maybe get a team to take a chance on him. It's a World Cup year. He wants to get game time. He's not going to get game time here. Um, what else is there? The midfield, not really any movement there. It's mostly just the attack and like the left backs or left center backs at Arsenal could be on the move. That's pretty much it.
We'll get into Kiwior, but that's where it's a techie situation. It's like Berta's kind of paying for sins of the previous regimes. In that, I know people don't want to hear this, and I'm not saying to pile onto the players for Reece Nelson or Zinchenko, for example, but realistically, they're on 100 grand. Nobody can force them to leave. Now, obviously, in reality, if you're not going to play football, these that want to move on and all these things, but nobody put a gun to Arsenal's head to give these lot the contract. They've signed it. I always look at Zinchenko and say, where is his head at? Is it a thing where he might be looking at it as raw? Arsenal had a small squad last season. Maybe Arteta will rotate. Maybe I can get games at left back. Maybe I can play in midfield. Maybe my family's cool in London. Maybe Arsenal have accepted a bid for me, but I don't want to go over there. Maybe Arsenal are keen to sell, but people don't want to necessarily give us the transfer fee we're looking at. So you're somewhat reliant. We'll get on to Fabio Vieira, but that was good news yesterday as well. With the greatest of respect to Fabio Vieira, that's cool. And that's where I am, because I think the bottom line you said there, it is kind of reliant on outgoings. And I know people would say the Cronky's got mad money and this and that and the third, and they're right, we can, but we know how we operate. We allocate a budget. We talk about being self-sufficient. We're on this, not selling to buy, but we bring people in. We're trying to get people out. And as much as we're excited about or demanding players that take us to the next level, there is an element for us to simply get our ship in order. Obviously, I said this. Big up the catch up, because I had them on. I said this before. I think when Berta came in, naturally, they probably, can you Zubamendi's almost done. Can you get Zubamendi done? We want Sesko or Gyokeres. Can you show an ability to pivot? What's going on with the Partey deal? When you go beyond all of that, they have to have said to Berta, we're trying to get the wages under control. And that's something that where I think for a lot of players is sink or swim. Like for me, just in general, I love Odegaard, and I think people are harsh on Kai Havertz. But if you get Eze, for example, Odegaard's not doing the business. I'm not saying they'll sell him, but that might be one where they say, oh, is that the best allocation of finances? The same potentially said for Kai Havertz. We're in that scenario with Martinelli. It's a bit clouded with Martinelli because obviously if you bring Eze in and Rodrygo and you've got Madueke, he could go, but I think it's one of Trossard and Martinelli. I want to ask you this as well, yeah.
The Martinelli thing though is kind of forced. It's like
not happening, bro. He's on 190 grand.
Yeah,
you're not going nowhere anytime soon.
Unless
easier to get rid of Trossard.
Bro, Diaz, who just won the league with Liverpool, was on 63K a week at Liverpool. And he's now on 200 and something K a week at Bayern. If anybody's coming in for a player, it has to be a top club. That's the problem. And what top club is going to come in for Martinelli underperforming? Everyone says Arsenal are bad at selling. No, it's not that we're bad at selling. It's the players that people want to buy. We do
Come
not
on,
want
Egal.
to
We're not the
sell.
best at selling. Egal, come
No,
on.
no, no. We do not want to sell the players who have value. We're trying to sell shit
I hear that, but
players,
we are bad at selling. Because a couple, as
bro.
much as I agree with what you're saying about Martinelli, bro, if he's at Liverpool, City, or Chelsea, they're selling him for something decent, regardless. There
Bro,
is an
you can't
element
you
of
can't tell me you can't tell me that. Okay, let me give you. I'm not even gonna give you an analogy. I'm just gonna say Chelsea have a bunch of players on sale on cheap wages, a lot younger. People are gonna be willing to take a chance on them. Arsenal have a similar player in a similar position who's either 27 years old, 30 years old, on reasonable wages, and is gonna be moving, and nobody wants to cover those 20 million because there's no resale value on a Trossard. There's no there's no way you're gonna get Martinelli, put him on 180 or 200K a week and try to have resale value in a couple
sorry
weeks
to cut
time.
you. Hey, Sean, big up yourself.
The
But
resale
nobody's
value
ever
is the
said
big
Evie was
issue.
the best. No
The
one has said
resale
that.
value is the big issue there. And you know what? As fans, we celebrated Martinelli getting a new deal, but we didn't realize it was gonna absolutely cripple us if things didn't go well.
It's not
And
crippled us. It's just you're not doing the business. Naturally, if you're 190 grand, it's not cheap, but it's not the most really. It's 90 grand more. I understand why they gave it to him at the time. They thought he was going to do what he's doing. The only reason it's crippled us is because you're underperforming, and also on that, it's not just Martinelli. There's several players that we've said this about in the past and obviously before. And that's what I mean, going back to my point about Berta, yeah, and that when you look past the Atletico Madrid and everything he's done in this day and age, he comes from a finance background. That has got to have excited the Cronkies. That has to, when you look beyond the obvious of these players need new deals, these ones need to go, we want to bring people in. The fact that my man has a financial background, that is probably the only thing that Cronkies absolutely care about. We have to get better at selling. I see you do a lot of tweets. That is the only thing
the
that has
main
got.
reason why they're bringing him in over other people is because he's coming from a team that was able to compete
Yeah, done the
above
underdog thing. But
above.
we're just talking about finances, bro. We're just talking about finances and underperforming. Berta has shown he's not afraid to make unpopular decisions, and he's on that. Any player that is not performing or is in a role and getting paid money that they probably quote unquote don't deserve, I'm gonna get them out. Naturally,
Yeah, and
if
he
you're
has the balls to
Cronkies,
do
bro,
so.
bro, that is the most important thing. They care about peace. They waffle about being self-financing.
You know, you
I'm
know,
happy with Berta because he's competent above all of it. In Berta, we trust.
I think the best thing about Andre Berta is he came in, he said, "Yo, I want Gyokeres," and he got him. Where other people they would have
Are
been
you seeing the
still good.
nonsense with Sesko?
Yeah,
Big
bro,
him up, but I'm happy we're not part of that, you know.
Sesko, the Sesko stuff. Now you guys understand why we moved away from it, and I'm
Him and
so
his
happy
agent
that
doing
we
too
moved
much,
away from
man.
it. But the bigger thing to me is it's messing up our first opponent of the season in Manchester United, and this whole situation is dragging its feet for Liverpool to get Isak. It's just making our whole life. It might be making our life a little bit easier. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah,
What do you make? It's a bit of a random question, yeah. But obviously, if we did, you could add asterisks next to Eze and Rodrygo just because you said, there's some hope about getting them. But we've brought in 6 signings. We're also calling for Mikel Arteta to change things. So that means the existing players have to do things differently. There's a lot of turnover at
we signed
Liverpool.
8 players by the end of the window.
Yeah, exactly. But there's a lot of turnover here. There's a lot of turnover at City. There's a lot of turnover at Man United. There's a lot of turnover at Liverpool. Basically, a lot of the teams are making maybe not wholesale changes, but they're doing a lot, and everyone kind of has to gel. What do you think that means for the Premier League race? Because as I said on the stream last time with you, one thing that gives me confidence about our first 10 games, not saying we're going to bully everyone and beat everyone. Everyone's quote unquote on a level playing field. Everyone's chasing fitness. You'd rather play these teams now than in April when they're in a different dynamic. But do you think that plays any sort of part in the season with all of these teams? You don't really know what you're gonna get from anyone, really, beyond the obvious.
Manchester United away, Anfield away, in our first 2 out of our first 3 games
Crazy, isn't it?
is not a good start to the season. But the fact that we're playing them this early, I'm confident Manchester United is still going to be a mess by the time we play them.
We need to move to them, man. Their fans chatting too much. We can't
Yeah,
listen.
Rance, you seen the video I posted
They
on my
got Rance. Yeah. Rance is on you if they beat us, He's on you. You've
Yeah,
been on to him.
yeah, there you go. And then what do you call it? What about the next thing? If we play Liverpool in January at their ground, I would be a lot less confident. So Deluded, you're 100% right. But also, how many starters are we really changing? It's not too many of our
It's not
starters
that
are
many, but are
changing.
they going to start the season though? Because Gyokeres, I think Gyokeres will, but you
Zubimendi is
could
definitely
argue fine.
starting.
Zubimendi definitely. I'd like to think Madueke because I want to see something different, but I don't know. Gyokeres, I want you to. I think Arteta has to start you, but I wouldn't think it's too unrealistic if he
You know
wasn't.
something? If Havertz
Disregard the others.
starts, if Havertz starts or if Havertz doesn't start, either way, I expect the performance to be a lot more fluid with Zubimendi, Declan
It has
Rice,
to be.
and Odegaard in the team.
They
Simple.
have to be.
And defensively, we're solid because we have a shape. But offensively, you need to be more fluid. With the fluidity is going to come from the passing range of a Zubimendi, the
It has
ability
to
to
come from
create,
Arteta tactics as
the
well, man. Or we're
ability
just
to
gonna have new
create from
players and not
Saka.
being able to create.
No, but the personnel makes a big difference, and we've been speaking a lot about personnel.
True.
As much
But it's
as
like giving
we,
a man the tools. You've got to make sure you know how you're using the tools now.
I know, but we haven't seen enough of what tools we have to our disposal.
That's
It's
why,
all,
remember, that's why for me, until like 10, 11, 12 games into the season, I'm not saying that we can just do whatever and I'm going to shut up, but that's when I'm really going to be very critical if we're still saying what we're saying about the left-hand
bro,
side,
we're
move
renovating
the
the
ball, all that.
kitchen and eating microwave food for the first dinner and getting upset. That's what we're doing. It's preseason. We're having microwave food and everyone's getting upset about the renovated kitchen. Let us eat from the kitchen stove, a fresh meal from the stove before we start going crazy. Like the players haven't come together. The team hasn't come together. A lot of people are moving mad.
True, true, true. Do you think Madueke starts? Because I must admit, yeah, say what we could say positively or negatively about Madueke, and we know he's just getting back in training and all of these kind of things, yeah. But maybe it's the fan in me, Egal. I just want to see something new on that left. We can talk about Rodrygo and Eze. I just want to focus on what's at the club. I kind of would start him at the start of the season. I just trust out on Martinelli. I feel I've checked out a bit, if that makes sense.
Let me see what we have in him before we start talking about start, because I don't know how he plays in an Arsenal team. Maybe it's different. Maybe he's not as erratic and doesn't just take pop shots every 2 seconds. Maybe that's what we need at Arsenal. Somebody who's more willing to take shots and just do it whatever he can. Maybe he becomes Salah or Kevin De Bruyne 2.0, and he's another
Huh?
Chelsea player who comes over.
Nah, Gal, explain that one there. What do you
Maybe he's
mean?
another Chelsea player that they give up on too young, and he goes and explodes at Arsenal, and he starts producing what they expected him to
Hold
produce
on.
at Chelsea. Now that would be the best case scenario, and the
What's the worst
underlining
case scenario?
numbers. There's some underlining numbers that say attacking wise, he's up there with the Mo Salah Sakas in this league when it comes to chances and sorry, shot creating chances that frustrate the opponent or that lead to a shot or lead to a save. So if he's that involved in Chelsea's attack in the final third, we
He
need
had a
more
good end to the
involvement in
season,
the
to be
final
fair.
third. Both Trossard and Martinelli have all the foreplay but no finishing. And I'm not saying Madueke is going to be a better finisher, but I'm just saying if Madueke is giving us more, if he's giving the defenses more problems, that's all we can ask for.
I mean, with me, with Madueke, I look at it three ways. When it's all said and done, I think any Arsenal fan that said they would have signed him is a liar, if I'm honest. But I think he deserves support because at the end of the day, he is signed for our football club. He's 23 years of age. He signed for our football club where we're talking about the league. And let's have it right. Every player that we've just signed and existing players, there's bare pressure externally. People want fireworks from everyone. That extends to him. He's taken a move from one rival to another. And I also feel like there's a degree of just acceptance, bro. The man has signed. Now, with me, I hear what you're saying because when you go and look at his statistics, the take-ons, all of that kind of stuff, those underlying metrics and numbers are good. Admittedly, though, the only numbers I care about is goals and assists because for me, the best case scenario is, well, the greatest scenario would be is like a Salah and that, but the best case scenario is Arteta looks like a genius because no one would have signed him. You was amazing. We've got a great player, whether you're on the right or the left. Go do your thing in it. There is a lot to like about you. Potential is one thing. You've got to go realize it now because I think we signed too many players where we're squinting, we're more hopeful than anything really and truly. Like Arteta, that is your signing, in it. Big him up, but you need to make that work. You're the manager. You show us why you've got your UEFA B license and all of that. Realize the man's potential because worst comes to worst, respectfully to Madueke, it would be another one from the Trossards and the Martinelli kind of camp in that you're not bad players, but every 5 games you might be amazing, then you're poor, then you're amazing. It just has to make sense. It just has to make sense. But I must admit, I'm at the stage now. I just want to see Madueke, and maybe that's an emotional reaction from me. But yeah, I don't know if it will be Salah or Kevin De Bruyne or my boy, but I hope he's got that desire in it. Because one thing I did like, he did want to join us over in Asia, and the club said no. So that means it's not a joke thing anymore. He's not thinking, oh, you know what, Rice is there, Saka's there, Lewis Skelly, I'm still in London, I'm getting paid. It's all fun and games. You're 23 now. You're not old, but you're not young. As Wenger said, once you start hitting 23, this is where you need to kind of show. You don't need to be the finished article, but this is where you kind of need to show your level type of thing. I want to ask you something about Eze. Like, how do you look at Eze beyond the obvious? And what I mean by that, bro, is obviously he's a great player. For me, if he was doing the starting 11 right now, he probably plays off the left. I understand if people want him in the 10. I understand all the conversations, but we've heard that we don't want to activate his release clause. So we kind of want to, I mean, every signing is like this, but we want we want it on our terms, innit? We want it to make sense. We heard that Wanyeri signing a new deal has made us, not that we're not keen, but kind of calm down. I don't think Odegaard's going to get dropped. So it's like, how do you see Eze in this kind of makeup at Arsenal? Is he a starter? Is he a rotationary option? Like, do we like him but not love him type of thing? Like, we want to sign the guy, but how do you look at it? I guess.
Think about him as Emil Smith Rowe, but better. Somebody who can play left wing, that can play in the 10 and potentially play in the left 8, depending on what you need and at what point of the game it is in. Say if it's late in the game and he's on the pitch, but you need to go a little bit more attacking, you can drop him deeper into the game. If you want him as a left winger, you can play him as a left winger. And if anything happens to Odegaard, or if Odegaard's not on it, or if it's a little bit more of a faster game, you can play him as a 10. Personally, for me, I think he's going to have different horses for different courses. And you could even have him and Odegaard on the same pitch. It depends how we play.
If you drop one of Rice and Zubimendi, I more want to see that in game rather than start with that. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Personally, for me, though, I think he would be playing as a left winger, but more of an inside left winger, and you'd have our left 8 would be somebody who overlaps and helps with the width. And he would be a little bit more kind of like how Chelsea used Mason Mount and Kai Havertz when they were both behind Timo Werner. It could be a situation where you have 2 floating 10s, or you could have a situation where 2 inside forwards behind a striker. But the space on the pitch is
something different, man.
Yeah, but I'm not a tactical genius. I don't know what Arteta's going to do, but I do know.
But you do know you'd have new tools. Bring us some new stuff. You got the capacity to do it.
I think Eze, for me, is going to be playing a lot higher up the pitch than people expect, and I think some people expect him to be solely in the middle. He'll be a lot more on that left-hand side to be the biggest addition to help us sort out that left-hand side. Think about it. And also, when I think of Eze, I think of Mavericks. I think of people who can take the game by themselves and do something with it. I'm not comparing him solely to these guys in their way that they play, but just their ability to go and change games. I'm thinking about like a Riyad Mahrez. I'm thinking about guys like that who can just take
the match winner trait in
thing and do something to help you win a game. And as much as I rate some of the other players that we could go for, I don't think Anthony Gordon is a match winner like Eze is. I don't think Rafael Leao is as consistent as Eze is. The only reason why Lookman and Eze is not even in the same conversation. Just keep Lookman away from me. I would rather have the Eze who's more gifted on the ball and can do more things for in many different areas. And the versatility is key also. We talk about the whole team is versatile and has many players that can play many different positions. With that, it allows you to be more fluid. And now we will have guys who can drift into the midfield. Eze could take his man and take him out of the game by dropping deep and playing in the midfield, running at defenders from another position in the pitch. You're not going to see that from a Martinelli. You're not going to see that from a Trossard. Tried to do that when Odegaard got injured. It did not work. After the second game, it was found out. And I think he's going to replace Trossard in the team. And Trossard did play in the middle. Trossard did play out wide. Trossard did play all over the place.
False 9. All positions Eze can play. Like, we all know Eze's bread and butter is probably in the 10. can do a thing off the left, provided Arteta wants to do it. You know, I don't know how you get Rice and Zubimendi in there, but there's scope to drop one of them out. Have the one that's not dropped plays as a 6, and
Drop
the
the
other
left
two
wing.
rotate. Drop the left wing, but even
Go
that
two up
though.
top. Go two up top. Saka and Gyokeres.
No. You're right, Egal. But for me,
Two,
these
two,
things,
two.
yeah, these are the things I want to see when I say in game, innit? Like if Arteta wants the way we play now, if that's what you want to do, keep doing it. But more pivot and mix and blend and whatnot. But then I hear you. You're not
You
wrong.
like the
I hear
FIFA
you.
formations.
Huh?
It's like the FIFA formations. You just play around with it.
Even a part of me just wants to say Arteta to say just slap them all on the pitch and just let them do their thing. Yeah, I hear you though, with especially with the Eze point, because I actually share your sentiments in it, and I like Madueke. I hope he does his thing. But if you've got them two, yeah, and I know you've been talking about Rodrygo, there's still not, because you know you just said versatility as well. There's still not that left wing specialist in that we can do whatever. Saka can play in bare roles. Some want to see him playing the 10 and all these things, but he's a winger specialist. We still wouldn't have that specialist. And there will be, like you said, horses for courses. What about those games that require that I'm just a sick left winger? Like, what would you say to that?
You also do realize Eze has the capabilities to beat a man 1v1. Has the
Yeah, no, I'm
capabilities
not
to make.
disagreeing, but no one has him down as an out and out winger. That's what I'm saying. Then what for the games where you need that bad boy out and out winger? Like you've got your Saka on that side, you've got Salah, you've got your talismanic figure. I guess what I'm trying to ask you is, even if Madueke is the best thing since sliced bread on the left or the right, and Eze excels everywhere, there's still not that, and it's a good problem to
Let
have
me stop
on
you
one
here.
hand, but there's still
Is
not a meld
Bernardo
on left-handed
Silva
side.
is
Pardon?
Bernardo Silva a good comp? Because Bernardo Silva is not a midfield. He's not a left winger or a right winger, but he's played a lot on the wings for Manchester City because of his capabilities to
No,
score,
I hear you with
his
that. We're
ability to
conflating the
create.
two. Great for the squad, and he's even played as a 6. But City have still had specialist wingers, specialist inside wingers. That throughout Bernardo Silva's time here, you know the many ones. So that's what I'm asking. Like, would we still need somebody to be that out and out traditional left winger with all of them guys, with Eze playing everywhere, like you said, with the Bernardo
That's why I
Silva?
want. That's why I want Rodrygo. But regardless, I don't want a traditional winger who's just gonna take his man and dance and try to beat
Well,
his man
let's say
every time.
inside forward because the wingers are dead in today's day and
I,
age
I
anyway.
want I want I want a winger who's almost like another striker on the pitch that's just gonna score. That's why I think Rodrygo is a guy who can come in and
You're
also.
not giving up this Rodrygo thing, are you?
No, I'm not, because I think as long as there is some sort of inkling that he could potentially be leaving, he doesn't imagine the guy first La Liga game. He doesn't even get on the squad. He's gonna
Nah,
tell
he'll
his
be in the
people, "Get
squad.
me out of here."
Unless they're gonna have to force him out though, man. Like really make
They
it clear
will.
that you're done. And how long
They
have we
will.
got to wait before we pivot to someone that might not be as good as Rodrigo, but someone that can do a thing? Because we might
Bro,
have really wanted Sesko. You're taking the piss. We're going to Portugal. Happy as
listen,
Larry.
Rodrygo could be alone at the end of the window. Final
Do
couple
you know
days.
something we don't? Because you keep mentioning Rodrigo, you keep mentioning loan. Like if you've turned into the Canadian David Ornstein, now's the time to speak, my boy.
Nah, I don't know nothing. Don't take anything I'm saying as verbatim. I'm just simply giving my opinion based off what I'm reading. I think too much about this whole Rodrygo situation. Rodrygo to Liverpool, Rodrygo to PSG, Rodrygo to Man City. The only teams that I seriously think that can get him right now is either Arsenal, Liverpool, or Man City. But Man City they still have Jack Grealish. Rodrygo's not going there with Jack Grealish still taking up a big chunk of the pay, and Arsenal. We need to shift out some of our guys. We haven't shifted out anybody. A lot of our guys are going to get shifted out closer to the end of
Bro,
deadline
we
day,
trust.
and with more guys off the wage bill, they don't even have to be sold. They just need to be off the wage bill. It allows us to free up enough space.
Ideally
If you
so.
get rid of Reece Nelson and Jesus alone, that covers his wages.
And then you throw it for me, Lokonga, Fabio, Vieira, because in isolation, they're not killing our wage structure. But you say 40 here, 50 there, suddenly it's a lot better in it. And as I said, I think I've only got nothing but admiration for Berta. Like, obviously, it comes with the reputation. On one hand, I don't want to praise a sporting director for having a big reputation and doing your job and just being competent. But end of the day, there's several spinning plates. You know, he's got a couple players signed to new deals, pivoted with the Gyokeres thing. Obviously, the bulk of the Zubamendi work was done, but got that over the line and everything else in between. Now, I think naturally he's going to get some sales and we keep it moving. And really, no excuses. There's no excuses for anyone, anyways, isn't it? Arteta, we need to get over the line next year because even your most loyal of defender can't. We can call you a good manager. You need to show you're a winning manager now, innit? There's nothing to hide behind now. Like, we need to do stuff. I do want to go through a couple of stuff as well, Egal, man. What do you think of Jack Wilshere returning to Arsenal apparently as part of the youth setup? I find it romantic if he gets to coach Dalman again, personally, but where you at?
Honestly, what happened with his managerial career?
Clearly didn't bang. And then he might want to leave again and go somewhere again, but yeah,
You know
clearly
what?
didn't bang.
This is just Arsenal taking care of their own. I like it. It's a family club.
Fair. What else we got? Did you make it a kit?
One of the best kits we've had in a decade, man.
Where'd you rank it from the three?
I would say the black kit when Jesus first arrived was the best kit.
No, this season's free kits. So the home, away, but
this kit, then the blue kit, then the home kit. I actually have the home kit right here.
Fair.
I like it, but the home kit is still, even though with the A's, is still basic compared to the other two.
So you know what? For me, I would swap them. You know, I would swap what you said. I would have said the white. The white one's the best. I'd say the blue and then the red. The red, maybe because you can't really go wrong with an Arsenal red. It's our home shirt. And I say the blue for me because I'll be real.
Red is third?
No, red second. White. No, yeah. You're right. White third. Red third. Sorry. Second is the blue one because I dissed it, bro. I can't lie to you. I gotta be honest. I dissed it when I first saw it. Everyone was here on the live stream. I was saying it's rubbish. How can they do that? It's silver. It means second. It's dead. Then I saw the players wear it. Then I saw it in the flesh. I was like, you know what? I missed. My bad. It's actually lit. You don't have to say sorry sometimes. So the blue one for me. And I don't feel the red one should be
the Marble Halls look. It's the Marble Hall combination.
Yeah. We rarely miss. I couldn't tell you, even with Adidas as our sponsors. I can't tell you the last time we missed with a kit. We ain't missed in the.
I thought the green one wasn't that good until I actually got it.
No, that's all right though. Even no, do you know what one day we missed with? I bought it as well. The high vis one, man. Remember when Rice was defending against like 20 Liverpool players at Anfield? The kit Rice had, the white, the yellow one. That was a myth. That was
you know something? If we would have won, everyone would have said that was an amazing kit.
Nah, man, I think they missed with that. Even when I got it in my hands, I was
like, we played our best football under Arteta in that yellow kit. Wallahi.
We scored bare last minute winners, man.
Away from home,
slightly played better in the pink kit.
Away from home in that yellow kit, we were special.
No, man. Remember the black kit 2022-23, Martinelli, Helen slides. Remember what we did to Brighton away? I don't know, God. I know there was a lot of last minute.
Arsenal's best Arsenal was 2024-2025, second half of the season. We were unplayable.
We just got the job done.
Unplayable.
That's what you call squeaky bum time, if I'm honest with you. Well,
unplayable.
So yeah, I mean, we've touched on Berta. Apparently, senior figures are said to be impressed by him.
We barely played in the pink kit. What are these guys talking about?
We did play in the pink kit.
2022, we played like 2 games.
Yeah, and they were fucking amazing, weren't they? Remember Saliba's slappers with his left leg? Oh, it was cold. Remember Jesus' dribbles? Oh, like we did.
Last season, we played how many games with that green kit?
True.
Like we barely
know
played.
The third kit's not gonna get too much love. Maybe this white one does because it's too good to ignore. But the third kit's very rarely get any real love.
These kits are going in the Hall of Fame when we win the league, man. Don't worry.
When we win the league, yeah.
Yeah.
Fingers, toes, everything crossed. If I'm honest with you, I wanted to ask you about this because everybody knows that we're calling for Arteta to change his tactics, right? And me and you have spoken about this, and I said one reason beyond the obvious as to why I want Gyokeres is because he's not what we've become accustomed to wanting from a striker. Now, obviously, he's going to have to adapt, but simultaneously, if I'm calling for Arteta to be different, and you're signing players that quote unquote go against the grain, it's going to force you to do such in it. Gunner Blog came out and said Mikel Arteta recognizes that the acquisition of Victor Gyokeres will necessitate a shift in style. Arsenal need to be more direct, more vertical, and since the resumption of training in July, Arteta has begun implementing this change. Now, before I get your thoughts, there's also one thing as well to add into it as well. Mikel Arteta and Arsenal have made it a point to recruit for physical robustness. Victor Gyokeres is no exception. However, they also recruited him for personality. Arteta believes Gyokeres has the presence and self-confidence to cope with the expectation that comes with the 9 position and the 14 shirt. Those two things, what do you make of them?
No Isaac for a reason. For a reason. Injury history. Alexander Isak's injury history is horrific.
He's been fit for a minute though, man.
Bro, last season he missed a bunch of games to start the season. Last season he missed a bunch of games to start the season.
Yeah, but did you see what Craig Hope said?
Isaac.
Did you see what Craig Hope said about that period?
What?
The Newcastle journalist. That's when his contract got ripped off the table. His new contract. Because even me, when people say Isaac, I think, oh yeah, I love Isaac. Like, I don't really care about his injuries, but I start waffling about injuries. But then when you actually look at the games he's missed, it might be a myth that's played out, if I'm honest.
Bro, man's missed over 38 games in his times at Newcastle. At Sociedad, he only missed 5 games. At Dortmund, he missed like another 20 games. In his short career, he's had a bunch of injuries, most of them groin injuries and like small little hamstring injuries, muscular injuries. I don't like that. Hopefully Gyokeres doesn't get injured, but yeah, Isaac last season overall missed a total of 9 games. Not that bad. But at the same time, I'm looking at it, more games, more possibility for injuries. And Arsenal, if they're going to invest 150 million pounds on a player or 140 million pounds.
He was never involved in them Isaac shouts.
Yeah, it was always too risky of a signing. Because imagine if we spent all the Gyokeres, Eze, and Madueke money on Isaac by himself. Are we better? No. So I think we did the right thing, and I agree with them to focus on injuries. But at the same time, don't let it make you miss out on game-changing talent that is affordable. Not
where do you rank Gyokeres in the top, like the best striker in the league and all that kind of stuff? I know he ain't kicked a ball for us technically in official games, but I only have Isaac and Haaland above him. Is there anyone else? Am I wrong for that?
I'm going to be humble, and I'm just going to say, let's just wait and see where he
Fuck
is.
that, Egal, man. Where do you rank him in the top 5, mate? Forget that.
Right now, I put him in the top 5 in the Premier League easily.
Who's better than him? Because I'm saying Isaac and Haaland. You got anyone else that you'd have above him at this moment? Because if not, then you can, yeah.
No, he's third there.
All right. Sorry, cut the track, Egal. All of y'all twerking for Gyokeres better take accountability. If Sesko gets more GA than him in the same league, don't blame the manager. Just take accountability. Hopefully it works. One, I can't. Maybe Egal knows more than me.
I never wanted Sesko.
No, forget that. Sesko's going over there. Gyokeres is here. Last time I checked, me, Egal, anyone in this chat that wanted Gyokeres, you lot are not Arsenal manager because he's bagged in the Championship. He's bagged in Portugal. I've maintained that. Obviously, Gyokeres has to be held accountable positively and negatively. But even if we go and get Rodrygo, Eze, got Gyokeres, Saka, there's stuff we need to change tactically in the final third. That's just some silly IOU stuff. So then what if Gyokeres bangs more than Sesko? Are you going to take accountability? All people could say is, oh, we got it wrong. Certain people wanted Buendia over Odegaard. Odegaard's done a lot more than Buendia. I'm not going to sit here and just
James Maddison too.
James Maddison, nobody cares. They're over them sides. Are we Arsenal fans? Or are we doing this silly one-upsmanship? It's not making sense. And even with that comment there, yeah, about take accountability, don't blame the manager. I'm not even saying don't blame Mikel Arteta, but who would have to take more accountability? The one that sanctioned his signing, like with Berta, and actually is the one that makes the decisions on the pitch, or Joe Bloggs sitting at home? It's not making sense. It sounds good. It's not making sense. But yeah, man. Any last words on Gyokeres?
That's what we call dead banter.
Dead banter. It's not making sense, bro.
It's dead banter.
Then the manager's gonna get blamed, bro. Like
it's the summer where Ekitike, Gyokeres, Cunha, all these guys are Sesko are joining. Out of all these guys that are joining, none of them are signing a player who scored 97 goals in his last 2
The
seasons.
striker market's tired. That's why all of these guys can do the dramas. Like every minute I go on YouTube or Twitter, you're seeing dramas with strikers. Like we had our own with Sporting. I think everyone's been involved in the Sesko stuff. I'm even seeing Chuba Akpom now. People are nobody cares, but the Vlahovic thing is crazy. Like
Chuba
end of the day,
Akpom, what
Gyökeres
did he
plays for
do?
Arsenal. I don't care about the others. Go on,
What
what'd you
Chuba
say, Egal?
Akpom thing? Are you talking about the video with Dylan?
No, because 1 minute he was basically, long story short, like 1 minute Akpom was going Birmingham and now he's ending up at Ipswich. There was just mad stuff going on, like just
Oh.
crazy. It's everywhere. The striker market is crazy, man.
You know
It's
what's even
crazy.
funnier? Chelsea signed Liam Delap to put him on the bench, took him away from Newcastle and Manchester United.
Like Newcastle had a tough time this transfer window, man. Just
Yeah.
rejection upon rejection
They're
upon
getting bitch
rejection.
slapped by everybody.
It's crazy. Too many people on YouTube and chats come up with
If I told you going into the season that Arsenal would sign 6 players, Chelsea would sign 8, Manchester City would sign like another 6, Liverpool would spend a record transfer fee on a striker, 2 strikers, and a friggin' midfielder. What would you say? Like, this has been a ridiculous transfer.
I would say, Egal, you're bugging out. I'd say, Egal, it's not going to happen. Like, if you honestly said that to me and said, Egal, you're bugging out, it's not going to happen, you're chatting shit, then I'd break it down. When I've got beyond the initial reaction, I would have said to myself, hold on, stranger things have happened in life, stranger things have happened in football. I must admit, I'm jealous of Liverpool. You got 2 strikers. I think we could have done with 2 strikers, especially someone out wide, but it is what it is.
Okay. We have Havertz.
Yeah, he's going to be utilized. He's going to be. We have Havertz. I'm Marino. I'd rather Marino, but yeah, like I would have rather.
And we saw Jesus.
Jesus is gonna have to go, man. He's gonna have to go. You know what? I will really admire Bert if he manages to flog Jesus, just because if I'm looking to buy Jesus or something, I'm saying, can I have him on loan? I'm definitely not paying all of his wages. How, like, and I guess the theme with Jesus is, have you recovered fully? Or if you haven't recovered fully, what's the timeline? There has been rumors about ripping up his deal. I don't believe that. People can point towards Tomiyasu, but naturally cutting up Jesus' deal is going to cost a lot more. There's a lot of mixing.
You know the main thing with Jesus is
what?
He wants to go somewhere where he can get some game time going into the World Cup. And whoever signs him, they want guarantees he's going to be fit. So it's going to have to be something where Arsenal do a loan with like an option or something, because there's no guarantee money coming our way.
Bro, we're going to have to... For me, I don't even... Obviously, it's about money, but kind of what you said at the start, I think it's just about, say, clawing some money back with wages, just accepting low and just keeping it moving. Like, I'm surprised Lokonga's still at the club. So, yeah, man, you've offered me your thoughts on that. What do you make of Gabriel Heinz's addition? Obviously, you're not on the training ground, but what do you make of his addition to the club? He looks like a mad bastard. I'm here for it.
We just need another voice in the locker room that's
different one as well, different perspective.
Yeah, he seems like the kind of guy who grabs somebody by the shoulder or hand over the shoulder and carries them and tells them what to do in like a really stern manner. And I feel like everything's too nicey sometimes. It's nice to have another guy who can just give people the hair dryer treatment.
And if you can improve Miles Lewis Kelly even more defensively, go on.
You see what he did with Miles Lewis Kelly. He's like, bro, we need to have you practicing crosses. Boom.
Bro, this man has played for Real Madrid, Manchester United, and his country. Fair enough, Miles Lewis Kelly, first team regular, he's living the movie. All of the defenders, especially the young G's that are part of training, bro, pick this man's brains, bro. He's got a lot of stuff that he could teach you. And I'm not the most knowledgeable person, but when you go and look at his life, yeah, he's actually, well, his coaching career, he's actually bare on the youth thing, playing youth and doing all that stuff with young players. So it makes sense. Go and be a sponge. Just learn everything you need to learn. And if Miles Lewis Kelly could, not that Arteta wants it, but if you could add crosses to your game, Bob's your uncle, you're laughing. Talk to me, man. Stuttgart working on a deal for Fabio Vieira and have approached Arsenal. We said, like,
people take us as mugs.
Let me know everything, Fabio, man.
People take us as mugs. They're like, throw Arsenal a couple pennies. They'll give you the player. eventually. That's what they take us as. With the
Well, 30,
offers that we're
35
getting
million
for
apparently.
Fabio Vieira, offers we're getting for Kiwior, honestly, come correct, please. I know we want to sell some of these guys, but meet us somewhere in the middle. Like, what are we doing here? We're getting offered less than 30 million for a player who's on reasonable wages and is quite young still. This is a former under 21s player of the tournament. He still has the capability on the ball. If he's playing in a team that is not one of the better teams in the league, like a Stuttgart, he's going to be one of your best players. I don't know what they're thinking.
Somehow they're going to make a profit on him as well.
Yeah, they're gonna sell him in a year's time. If we sell him for 25 million with a sell-on clause, I'm happy. If we get anything less than 25 million with a sell-on clause, I'm looking at us and I'm saying, yo, we're not really serious about trying to start getting money for our players because he's not on much wages. He's on 60K a week.
He's got 2
Stuttgart could
years left
easily
though.
pay
This is
that.
our best position to sell him.
Yeah, Stuttgart could easily pay that. A lot of clubs across Europe could easily pay that. But you know what the problem is once again? Oh, he went on loan. He didn't do so well in his home country. And it's like all of a sudden it's like they want to get rid of him. But I watched him for Porto in the Club World Cup. He was quite effective for them.
I'm not Meg Messi.
Yeah.
I mean, just get him off the books, man. Just keep it moving. Like that is all
Well,
we
would you
can do.
sell him for anything less than 25?
I was gonna say 20 million. I mean, with Berta, I think if 30
That's
million.
what they're offering though. They're offering 20 million euros.
Yeah, put another 5 on that, maybe 30. Let's get some add-ons, a sell-on clause. I'll take you one step further. I'd say even a buyback clause, like just in case he wakes up and he's the player that we projected him to be. We need to, if we do sell him for 20 million, if we sold him for 30 million, whatever the sell-on fee would have been, add a couple percentages. If you want him for 20 million, I need 40% of any next deal, if I'm honest with you. Any
I'm not
next
gonna
deal.
lie, I don't care about relationships anymore with these other
Fuck
football
relation,
clubs.
it's business.
Yeah, I'm just
Let's
telling
be a
them
nice got us,
straight.
Egal.
I'm just telling them straight up, 10% sell-on clause or whatever percentage they deem value worth, and we will give you the player for 5 million more than what you've offered us. If you don't want that, if you want it for 20 million because you can't afford the extra 5, you need to up the sell percentage. Because I know for a fact you're gonna sell this guy again, and you're gonna sell him for like another 50 or 40 million in a year or two's time.
Exactly. I'm not here for the friends thing because what did we hear last season with the Sesko? Oh, we don't want to damage relationships with Leipzig. Now that could be right, but then
And
this year
West Ham, where's
and
West
West Ham,
Ham?
and they didn't do it. Neither team has done us any favors. Like a year from now, Leipzig still made our lives hell. Thank the Lord for Burton being able to pivot. Dead all of this, man. Just
Where's
make it
West
happen. Be
Ham?
respectful.
Come back, West Ham. We need you in this conversation for Fabio Vieira. It makes sense. West Ham get Fabio Vieira. He goes in their team. He starts, bro.
I think that's because of the Paqueta links with a move away, though. And I know Paqueta's better than him, but they're kind of similar-y, kind of. So I think he must be on some level of a list. What do you make of the Kiwior stuff? Because I'll let you know my thoughts. Me and you have spoken, and I've said before, I think Kiwior would have said, you know what, Gaffer, I've tried, but the last 3 years, I've only come in when I'm a side man, innit? I would understand that. For me, you're not going nowhere. I know this isn't right, but Mikel Arteta needs to lie to him. And then in January, lie to him again. There's concerns over Magalhaes. I think, in general, Calafiori be ahead of you in the pecking order for me. But if we're playing in the Prem tomorrow, owing off what you did last season, Kiwior, so you're starting, bro. You're starting. But where are you at?
Bro, Kiwior is going to be sold for a record transfer fee for Arsenal, which is, what is that, 35 million plus or nothing?
Yeah, how much did we sell Ox for? 35, innit, to Liverpool?
Yeah, so unless we're getting more than 35 million pounds for Kiwior, there is no chance I'm even going to a table to discuss a transfer for Kiwior.
Wait, what did you say? What fee?
I'm saying record transfer fee. What is it? 40 million pounds?
It would be 40. It would be anything above 35.
Yeah. So I'm saying,
and then you got Porto offering 26 million
and
pounds,
the
30 million
people
euros.
wondering why. He's played 60 games for us in the last 2 seasons, one of the better defenses in the league. We've developed him from a stage where we bought him for close to what they're offering, which is around 20 million euros we bought him for. They're offering 8 million euros more for somebody who we've had for a couple years and now developed to a level where he's consistently can play for us in important games. Why would we then sell him at the first chance we get at a cut price? It doesn't make sense. Unless we're doing him a major favor to get him a move, But even if he
If you'll
stays
big
at
up yourself,
Arsenal,
but fuck your favors, man. We ain't got
yeah,
time for
but
that,
even
bro.
if he stays at Arsenal for one more year and we go
Give
on
us
to
one
win the
more year,
league,
Kiwior,
and we
please.
go on to win we go on to win the league this year, he can get a quantum move for 40 to 50 million easy. Easy.
You need to give us one more year, man. You need to. I know, I understand it, Kiwior. You want to play, you're 25. There's a World Cup. You want to do your thing for Poland. If everybody's fit, I don't know how you look at stuff. I don't really want to see you
He's
play at
still going to
left back.
start for Poland.
Huh?
He's still going to start for Poland.
Yeah, no, but you want to go into the World Cup, I guess, confident, fit, sharp, all of that. So I'm saying I understand it. And the man just might want to play. I understand it. He might even be sitting there and saying, I know these men are better than me, but when we played Real Madrid, everyone would have put their money on me making the mistake. It was Saliba type of thing. So I can understand if he wants to go. Like, away from the glitz and glamour of Arsenal, I proper get it, Kiwior. I proper understand it. I don't think Arsenal want to force you out the door, but I think you're one that we'd listen to offers for. With me and us needing depth and what's going on with Gabriel Magalhaes, shut that door closed. Lie to him. Just say, yeah, you're going to play, man. Just stay patient. You can
You don't
lie
need
to him
to lie
until
to him.
January.
You don't need to lie to him.
You need to lie to him, man. You got
Just
to
tell
keep
him the
certain man
truth.
sweet, man.
Just tell
Because
him the
he looks
truth.
like he's a bit down in the dumps if you don't lie to him.
Just tell him the truth. You are our number one option off the bench. Anything goes wrong with either Saliba or
But you
Thing,
don't want to hear that, Egal.
you're in the team.
You don't want to hear that,
And
Egal.
in the case you give us one more year and we win the league or we don't win the league or whatever, you will let you leave next summer. And if we get a reasonable offer, you can go next summer. For now, just give us one more year. And that's
Just
it.
give us one more year, man. But what if
And it leaves you with stability going into a World Cup season.
True. What if he does? What if we do sell him though?
I
Regardless,
think it's better to keep it honest with the people you have in house and lie to the people that you want to bring
you
in.
think Arteta is being 100% honest with all these players? None of these
Bro,
managers are.
lie to
None
the
of
people
them
you're
are.
trying to bring into the building. Don't lie to the people who are already in the building. Because if
Egal,
you
none
lie
of
to the
them.
people already in the building, you can cause more problems than the people who are
Bro,
outside.
it's an industry thing. All the managers are good liars. They might not be lying, but they might not necessarily be telling the truth. All you got to do to Kiwior is say, bro, stay patient. If Gabriel Magalhaes isn't fit, you're playing against Man United. If he is fit, you might play against Man. You might not play against Man United. Sorry, start you against Leeds. You know, maybe even give you a next start. Keep it running. When the window closes, boom, you keep quiet. You're gonna get your chance.
You're
You'll get
out
your
here
chance.
telling him you're my Polish Maldini.
Yeah, man, tell him all of that. Then when it gets to January, he'll probably come in your office again and say, I want to leave. Say, bro, January is difficult to do business. Berta's going on holiday. He's not answering his phone. Bare lies. Then when January's shut, what can you do? You can go next year. We need you now. But as I asked you, Egal, yeah, what if though? Cool. We know me and you are both for landing. We don't want to let this man go. But what if Arsenal say, cool, you'll leave? Like, regardless of the Magalhaes stuff, he's being sold. They reach an agreement with Porto, whoever else is onto him.
It
How
better
do
be
you
good
feel?
money. Better be
But
good money.
ain't we making more holes in our squad where we haven't addressed everything?
Bro, they have a good talent ID for defenders.
Yeah, we
Go
do.
get it. Go get me another defender. Go get me Jeremy. If they sell Kiwior, if you lose Kiwi, go get me Jeremy.
You didn't get me Hato, so you need to go and get me the next best thing. You need to bring me something.
One thing I'll tell you is Arsenal might have bad talent ID when it comes to attackers over the last years. They might have bad recruitment when it comes to certain midfielders, but when it comes to defenders, over the last recent years, we've been
Let's say
solid.
3 to 4 years now going into this
Yeah,
season.
we've been solid.
We did have Marie and Cedric in there, man. But we're
but that was Edu. That was Edu's connections with the agents and all that stuff. Like
either way, now I'm quite comfortable when we bring in defenders.
You never know. In a year's time, we could be going for more agent linked players. Now that we got Madueke, his agent is a mad guy. He's got so many top defenders and players.
Man. And I remember when people used to cry about, oh yeah, it's all agent led. I don't care about that. If you're getting good players, great. You should have a good relationship with agents. It's just previously we're getting crap guys. Like, so people are overly waffling about a favor. If someone can do us a favor and bring us players that are better than what we have or plug gaps, I'm all for that. Which is why I've got the most faith in Berta people. You've kind of touched on it, so yeah, I won't ask you about that. Again, this Gunner blog said if Arsenal are to make a significant addition to the first team, it's most likely to be a left winger. That being said, though, go on.
Nah, I got gassed. Go ahead.
Now, Ben Jacobs is saying Arsenal have already communicated to Crystal Palace that they don't want to trigger Eze's release clause, which we all know has been it's expired. They might need outgoings first, but the expectation is they'll bid in this window and lower than the release clause. How confident are you in Eze being a Gooner by the end of the season?
I spoke to a lot of Palace fans. They told me, yo, unless you guys start coming correct in the next 6 to 7 days, I don't see him leaving until after the Community Shield. So it could be a thing where he
Well, that's
leaves.
Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah, it could be a thing where he leaves after the Community Shield before the season starts.
We've touched on Madueke. I won't ask you about that. Big him up. Me and you have spoken about Dalman before. We love him and he's impressing, but we need to take time. We've got
Yo, you said something cryptic. Who's leaving?
Huh?
Who's leaving?
It's
what do
not
you know?
Max Dalman. I mean, people on Twitter talking nonsense. It's just basically, did you see what happens when you have a great academy? Like, it's like, let me use this example. Like, I'm sure a lot of you are of heritage either in Africa and the Caribbean and others. Yeah, if I'm outside and I've made the most banging food and I'm making nice food and I leave it on the table, flies are gonna come if I ain't covered my shit, right? If I ain't covered my food, flies are gonna come, right? When you've got a banging academy, people are gonna start trying to poach players. It's well known that Chelsea scout, we do it, everybody does it, but it's well known Chelsea scouts are monitoring and sniffing around certain players. It's no one in the same bracket as Madueke, but he's a very Max Dalman, but he's a very talented 14-year-old that Chelsea are trying to do the most with. I don't want to speak on him because he's a kid, but he's very decent. I can't tell you, and I'm not telling you he's gonna be the guy and whatnot, but that is gonna happen. People are sniffing around our players. They've been trying to do that. We're doing that. We tried to get Rio when
Liverpool
he went to
took
Chelsea.
Rio from Chelsea.
We tried to get that JJ kid that's at Man United, that's a star in his own right. Everybody's doing the same.
The best
Pardon my language,
14-year-old in
fuckery
the
to everyone.
world.
Pardon?
The best 14-year-old in the world.
So yeah, Martinelli ain't going nowhere. Honestly, you wouldn't have Lookman. Eze's not. Let's just assume Eze's not a thing. You're not having Lookman.
No.
Eze, he's not forwarding. It's Lookman or nothing. You're not having Lookman.
I'm not having Lookman.
So again, Lookman or nothing.
You're not having Lookman.
Why? Why are you so against him?
I'm against Lookman because of two things. One, Gasperini system and the lack of translation in the past. And number two, I just don't rate Lookman anymore.
But what if Arteta wants him?
Bro, Arteta wanted Sesko. I didn't rate Sesko.
Fair. I'm having Lookman. I mean, you've given me confidence that we could get Rodrygo. Romano, let me pause that. Romano has said he does not.
Lookman was in the Premier League same time as Martinelli. He was thinking it up in a team that was lesser than Arsenal, where he was being asked to be one of the main men.
I hear that. I'm still having Lookman though. I don't think he's the worst of player. I do share the concern about. I said this yesterday on the stream. It's like when you was in England, the only time I've really looked at you like, rah, you're sick, you're cold, and all of that was when you was at Charlton. Fair enough, maybe that's your life and things happen, but didn't really pull up trees at Fulham.
We saved that seat for a quality player. You see what Liverpool's doing? They're getting quality players. We need to save our seat for quality players. We can't fill them up with you'll take him?
No. I would. If worst comes to it, if you're offering me, if someone says Eze's off the table, and I don't believe we're getting the guy on the camera anyways, but if someone says Eze is off the table and it's Lookman or nothing, I'm having Lookman. I don't feel we're getting to where we need to with our existing attacking options as they stand. I don't think anyone's a bad player. Ready to give Madueke a chance. Gassed about Gyokeres. Love Bukayo. I need another body there. I need someone. If you're telling me Lookman or nothing, I'm having that. I'm sorry, Nick. I'm having that, I'm having it. Where are you at with this? Because on paper, I know people might concentrate on Liverpool and actually Chelsea, but we're the third top goal scorers, third biggest spenders. Our net spend is significantly lower than everyone's with 6.9 mil, but we spent a lot of money. Surely we need to get over the line now.
This means nothing, bro. It's about your squad being good. The money we spend doesn't mean anything if our squad is not better than Liverpool's come the end of the transfer window.
Fair. I still can't believe you that you. I want to know what you don't like about Lookman, man. Like, I need to know what you don't like about him. I'm not saying he's amazing, but
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sold on Lookman.
But what is it though? Is he just not your cup of tea? Full stop.
I just look at Lookman. I say to myself, I see him being a player who's overperforming in a team where he's a big fish in a small pond. He comes to a place where he has to be a fish a fish in a big pond. How's he gonna equip himself?
I just need you to be reliable when we call upon you, man. I more look at the attacking ranks in units now, man, and I don't think it's strong enough. We've gone over that. I mean, last thing for you, then I'm gonna ask you one more time. Like, in fact, a better question on this Rodrygo stuff. Out of 10, as you as just a fan, you're not an agent, you're none of this, but you as a fan, out of 10, how confident are you that we get Rodrygo in some capacity, whether it's that loan thing like you was referring to, or we buy him outright? Because then I want to ask you a follow-up question.
I think it's a flippable coin.
Come on, man. Out of 10. So
5.
you'd say a 5, yeah? Okay, cool. So then, same question, like out of 10. Out of 10, how realistic do you, or how much do you think we'll sign both Eze and Rodrygo then?
Once again, I think it's a situation where it's like 20%, 25% chance we get both.
I want you to be right, Egal. I want you to be here saying, DJ, I told you so, have faith, because I'm believing in Berta's thing, but I don't believe in Rodrygo signing for us, and I definitely don't believe in getting Eze and Rodrygo. I want to be wrong. I will hold
Regardless,
my L.
we get Eze, I'm happy. But you know
Yeah, no,
something?
naturally.
The moment we get what we want, we always want more. And that's just how it is in life.
Greedy.
But yeah, you see what Winning Ways says? Lookman is suited more to Italy than the Prem.
Oh no, but that's what I was gonna say. It's like you've played in a couple of divisions now, and you ain't really set the world alight. You went Italy and you're scoring bare goals. And I've said this to people that I see some of the comments there. I'm not saying the Italian league is bad. I'm just saying the amount of players that are not held in high regards, they go over there and they start bagging mad goals. Sometimes they're very young, sometimes they're kind of old and past it, quote unquote. I think there's something in there. I think it's a bit dodgy, but again, I don't think Lookman's the worst. I don't think he's the best. But for me, it was more of a case of if you're offering me Lookman or nothing, nothing is mad. Nothing is mad. That's just where I was at with it. And I don't know if Lookman definitely weren't amazing for Everton. I don't know about that.
He's heavily outperforming. He's outperforming his XG over the last 2 seasons.
Eze is the one we need though tomorrow. Like it needs to be done now.
Why was he so bad at Everton and friggin' Fulham?
I don't know. Maybe it was just the age you're at. Sometimes
even Leicester,
that's what I mean. You weren't pulling up any trees. But sometimes that needs to happen. Yeah, maybe that just needs to happen in your life sometimes. Like you need those bad experiences and those good moments to ground you. And maybe he'll be returning to this country with fire in his belly. I know it's not the same, yeah, but Mikel Merino, obviously, I'm not saying he's amazing, world class, all of that stuff, but he's probably rated a tiny bit more than when he was in Newcastle. Pardon?
27 years old, Lookman ain't moving me like that.
And he could be like Olu says here, late bloomer thing, arguably.
Hey, get me a Crystal Palace late bloomer. I know I've had that before.
I'm here for the Eze thing.
I like the Ian Wright comparisons. Give me another Crystal Palace guy.
Well, you want Eddie back?
What? No. I'm saying Eze.
Yeah, I know, man. Bring Eze to the carpet. My last thing for you, yeah, then before I let you get out of here, yeah. Would you take Rafael out? I know the links are a bit half-hearted, but what's your thoughts on him? You having him?
I'm gonna piss some people off. I think Leal is extremely wasteful and inconsistent. He is the kind of player who, on one day, you watch him and he's on it, you'll think he's one of the best players in the world. The next 3 games after that, you watch him and you'll think he's no different than Martinelli.
You don't know what's going on.
Yeah. And I'm like, I seen it from the game that he played against us to the game that he played against Liverpool. The game that he played against us, he wasn't decisive with his decisions. He was hesitant. He looked off pace.
He cooked Ranieri and that was about it.
Yeah. And then he has his one moment of flash and brilliance. And then you look at him versus Liverpool, very decisive, takes his chance first touch, doesn't worry about Van Dijk coming next to him. He just shoots it. Where when he was playing against us, Saliba was ushering him away with his aura. He wasn't even defending him. He was just pushing him away with his aura. He would see him and he'd worry. So personally, for me, I look at Leal and I say to myself, is he consistent enough a player to be investing in and saying he's going to be a talisman? Because what's the difference between us going and getting Rashford? than getting Lookman. I view them as the same kind of player. Purple patch, they look like the best, and when they're not performing, they can be very inconsistent and be a little bit of a nuisance. And I'll point to you. Look at him for Portugal. Where is he in these games for Portugal when Portugal needs something?
Even the last time for Portugal where he made the difference, I don't remember who they played in the Nations League. He came off the bench. I agree with everything you're saying, but I must admit, if you ask me this question when the window ends, cool. I'm just in transfer mode. It's not that I don't disagree with everything you said. My thing is, fuck it, just put the peas down, man. Just
You know
put the peas
something?
down, get the guy. I'm on it now.
If we don't get Rodrygo, I would rather go and get Anthony Gordon than Leao.
I'm sure the club would as well, because Anthony Gordon's one of the only players that they actually name drop consistently. We're interested now. I can't see us getting Anthony Gordon when they've let Isaac leave. Stranger things have happened. I like how the win. In conclusion, I like what we're doing in the market. It does fill you with a bit more optimism, but I think we need a bit more, man.
A lot of people who are gassing up Leao in the chat, I'll tell you guys this. Leao has a kink where he performs against big teams on big occasions at times, but for 90% of the games where you need him against the teams that are not as good, he sometimes goes missing. And we're sitting here, when did you watch last Leao? We watch Leao all the time for Portugal and AC Milan. Can you really remember him going out and having a really nice stretch since the season when they won the league? And since earlier in the year, maybe we'll have like 4 games where he's consistent, then go blank for a couple games. 4 games where he's consistent, then go blank. I don't know, man.
We just have to hope, man. We literally just have to hope, man. People, I've had Egal here longer than I've wanted to keep him. I respect his time. Let people know where they can find you, my guy. It's always a great chat.
Egal Talks Football on YouTube and on TikTok, and of course EGTV Egal on Twitter. Honestly, I have been posting every single day, so in case you guys haven't been watching, please do check it out. And
Support
man,
the movement.
What?
And I said support the movement.
Yeah, go check it out. Go follow, subscribe, and of course, if you guys just want short form content, go check out my Twitter also, because then you can just see what I'm thinking last
You're
second.
a madman on Twitter, I'll say that much.
You know what it is? These guys are going to sit there and they're going to criticize you if you're winning things or if you're not winning things. If you look at what they did to Chloe Kelly, it just goes to show me it doesn't matter if you're an Arsenal player who's
people just talk. Doesn't matter what you do. Breathing means they're going to talk.
They hate us regardless. So be yourself and be shameless as fuck. Because
you'd rather be hated. Listen, if they're hating you because of who you are, I see that as love, because you actually like me rather than fake love. If you genuinely hate me for who I am, then thank you very much. And what you probably see, because you're a content creator like myself, not that you always remember the usernames. Fair enough. Most people can think, oh, DG's a dickhead, Egal's a dickhead. They'll block you or turn you off, or they go about their life, innit? There's people that will say, I hate Egal or I hate DG, but I'm going to watch everything he does. I'm going to comment everything he does. I'm going to pre everything he does. So you can't hate that much if you're dedicating your life, man. And for me, bro, at the end of the day, it's just football, innit? Like, when you really, I think football talk and football discourse, whether it's content creator to content creator, whether it's social media, it goes a bit too, of course, it's going to get heated and whatnot, but it goes a bit too personal, if I'm honest with you, when it's just fucking football. Like, it is literally just football. It's not, the world's serious.
Stats and real facts that are twisted in the negative hurt people more than anything else.
Football's an emotional game, man. Football is a very emotional game, man.
But I can't wait for the season to start and people start talking about, well, Arsenal don't look the same, or they don't move me anymore, or this and
they don't care. But half the people saying these things, if they're saying it from an honest point of view, yeah. But all right, cool. A lot of these people don't. They know if Arsenal's won 38 games in a row, I'm gonna say they're not as good as everybody makes out, because I'm gonna be a Quartarian. It's gonna get me views. I'm gonna be a dickhead, and that goes for every club and every person. We live in a day and age.
You see what Gary Neville did?
He's scared. I know what he's doing. I know he's scared. Where he said we're gonna win the league again. Yeah. Because when he's criticizing us, he doesn't look like he's got an agenda.
No, because if we win, he said, I told you so. And if we lose, he said, well, I predicted you to win and you guys let me down once again. I told you, I thought you guys were good enough. What happened? Exactly. So either way, he's going to stick it on us.
Gary Neville's a weasel, man. You got to wake up earlier than that to catch me, man. But people, we're going to let Egal get out of here. I'm back at 4:15. You got any content to come out today, my friend?
I already did a video earlier today at like 10 a.m. So you guys can go check that out.
See the work rate. So go and check that out, people. Again, Egal's title is in the Egal's YouTube channel is in the title of the video. So I expect to see the subs go up. Go and support the movement. We're out.